Shalom, Israel, shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts. And another Monday Night Fire, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Hamashiach Malak Yahushai, laboring fervently in the gospel, sealing the hopeful elect, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. A mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, more importantly, magnifying the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, teaching us children of Israel, the elect of Israel, scattered through the four corners of the earth, and presenting their body as a living sacrifice. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to everybody tuning in live on the mighty Monday Night Fire. Kyoko Banyamyan, Kahalo Yahweh, Bashmi Awashai, from Egypt to Israel, HBK Int, Melodic Tunes, LOCT Sellers, Michael Williams, Yafei Israel, Yakar Salah Yasha'Allah, Uzelia Jacob, Humble Warrior of Yahweh, Ancients New, Why Don't We, Karab, Shaw, Yasha'Allah, Break Bread and Build, K-Rock the Don, D-Vash Branch, Shah Yasha'Allah, Mighty WFR Rhode Island, Shalom, shalom. Let me get the mighty brother Raya in this thing. Shalom, King. You on mute.
Hear me?
Come on, I hear you. The sound kind of couldn't really hear you. But most I willing the brother come back, everything work out. But Shalom is Monday Night Fire, and we excited, man. I've been excited to go into this. You know, we wanted to do a cold cut on it, you know, as a body, but we said, look, we'll do it for the Monday Night Fire. There's a lot of prophecy coming to pass. There's a lot of current events that we want to get into. There's a lot of things that are happening on the earth, chiefly here in Babylon the Great and also outside of Babylon the Great, that we want to go into. I want to kick it off with the book of Isaiah, right? Let's go to Isaiah, the 21st chapter. And if you're not watching, then shame on you, right? Every brother and sister should be watching these prophecies coming to pass. You should be witnessing the end of the world, right? You're looking at the end of the world, right? Then the Lord say, let me get this real quick in Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 7. It reads, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So one of the greatest things for a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American man, right? You Israelite men that are in this truth, one of the greatest things that you can ever experience is to see the fall of your enemy. Yeah, I know in the world they say one of the greatest experiences is to jump out a plane or marry the woman of your dreams or visit the Great Wall of China or, you know, win $1 million. That's not according to the Most High. One of the greatest things is to see the fall of your enemy. Who is our enemy? These other nations. How do you know that? Well, that's Nehemiah 5 and 9, Psalms 83, and many other precepts, man. And you're seeing the fall of America. America is finished. It's done. It's over. It's lights out. There's no coming back, man. The Lord is putting America in the grave. And he's slowly taking that dirt and covering the dead carcass of America, man. America's buildings, infrastructure, roads are falling apart. Trillions of dollars in debt, sedition, prices, inflation, interest, riots are coming. Anarchy is coming. The days of Second Ezra chapter 15 are approaching and drawing nigh on the earth, man. Faster than ever before. Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter. Right? Actually, I want to go to Psalms chapter 92. Right? Psalms chapter 92. Because you're living out Bible prophecy right now. Just the sheer fact of you witnessing this place go down is a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. All right, we're going to get into, we got a lot we want to get into. There's a lot going on the earth. You understand? And we have to touch on everything as much as we can through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Right? Quick precept, Psalms chapter 92 and verse 10. Right? Psalms 92 and 10. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of an unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. That's prophecy. David said, mine eye shall see my desire on mine enemies. What is any king his desire on his enemy? To see him fall, captive, dead. You understand? So we're witnessing our desire on our enemies. Our desire is for America to be burnt from sea to sea. Our desire is for the so-called white man to be what? To be destroyed, man. And for this filthy land to be destroyed by the Most High God through his son Yahweh Shah. That's our desire. Our desire is to see this economy in debt. I want to see people running around lighting buildings on fire. I want to see anarchy and complete pandemonium and chaos in the streets. I want to see these things, man. It reads, and mine ear shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. Right? But you got it, King.
Khan is a mighty point. Right? I want to get Psalm chapter 130, right? In verse number 3. It says, if thou, O Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Yahweh, who shall stand? But there is a forgetfulness, right? I'm going to start at verse 5. I wait for the Lord. My soul doeth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is mercy, and with him is plentiful redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. So the Lord is saying over and over in the Bible to watch and wait. You understand? And be conversing in what's coming to pass, man, and what's going on the earth. If you're not watching and understanding what's going on the earth, it's going to catch you like a thief in the night.
Right.
And the Lord is commanding, the men of the Lord to go out there and blow the trumpets. The trumpets are being blown from the four corners of the earth. This word is in Africa, it's in Brazil, it's in North America, South America. It's everywhere going out that all hell is about to break loose, man. Anarchy is in the streets, man. The so-called white man is gearing up. Well, let me get this quick precept in second Esdras. And all hell is about to break loose, man. And we see the signs coming to pass, right? It's not like we don't see it. It's the book of second Esdras, chapter 16, right? And I'm going to start at verse, this whole thing. I'm going to start at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And those days are coming on the earth, man. You see the gas prices rising up. Not too long ago, gas was so-called $3 and something, man. Now it's $6. By the time you blink, it's going to be $7. By the time you turn around, you're not going to be able to afford your rent, to get something to eat, have gas in your car. It's going to be impossible to live unless you succumb to this beast even more. And the days of faith are on the earth. You got it.
Khan, and that's absolutely right, man. And that's the purpose of this so-called white man doing this. This is done by design. Now, ultimately, it's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right? This is a fulfillment of Isaiah the 19th chapter, which we go into, frequently, man, right? I love pulling this. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And we're living in the days of Isaiah the 19th chapter too, man. And this is the time of Acts of the Apostles, certain precepts in Isaiah 19, 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16. It reads, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit. You understand? So amongst all of the mingled people in Babylon, in the third heaven on the left-hand side, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, has sent a demon down and mingled them amongst Babylon. Where is Babylon? America. And what is the spirit doing? Causing this society to make the worst decisions economically, militarily, you understand, financially, that they have ever made, man. to the point now where guess what? Like Araya said, gas prices are damn near like $10 in the West Coast, man. People aren't being able to go to work. You understand? Society is crumbling. Interest rates are at an all-time high. And they're coming out and saying, don't expect things to get any better. Right? Now, let's get right into it. Right? Now, here's one of the first things I want to get into. Now, this is madness. Right? I mean, it's a lot we want to get into. But check this out. Now, this starts in Michigan, right? But it's also going to trickle down into other places on the earth, right? Can you see this? Did it show up?
Con, I see the white screen.
All right, let me see if this shows up. So bear with us 1 second. So here you have Salakia. See if this one. Satan one things to. Now check this out. Gas prices force U.S. cops to ration call-outs. Right? Gas prices are forcing the cops in America to ration call-outs. Now, what does that mean? That means that gas is so high that the police have to figure out what people to go to. So when you call 911, they might not come because there's not enough gas in the car to make it to your area. Here's somebody being murdered to death, robbed for their food, being spoiled and plundered and pillaged, rape, robbery, extortion, car theft, murder, and you're on the phone because people are going to call the police because they need the security. You know, they want to feel safe. They want to feel like everything's okay, you know, and you're calling the police and 10 minutes go by, right? And you're wondering why. First of all, Jake, you barely get response time for the police in the hood anyway, right? About 30, 45 minutes, man. Sometimes an hour. How much more when there's no gas? You think these police cars operate on love and the American dream? You think that's what keeps them running? You think these police cars operate on your happiness and the blood of the saints? No, that they operate on the same thing that your car operates on, huh? You know? And they're even telling you that we can't afford to put gas in all of these cars. So, yeah, you may have a murder going on down the block. Somebody may be kicking your damn door down in the middle of the night. And guess what? You got to become the police that day. You're going to have to deal with it, man. You understand? And people are going to have to live with this, man. Right, let me read a little bit of this. Now, this is from June 9th. Surging gas prices, right? Okay, it's showing up. Surging gas prices are forcing some U.S. police departments to look for more fuel-efficient ways to respond to calls. Surging gas prices around the U.S. are beginning to put a strain on police departments as they try to cut down on fuel consumption. One Michigan police force has already asked its officers to handle whatever calls are acceptable by phone. You see that? So out there in Michigan, which is really what I want to get if it loads up, Michigan soaring gas prices forces sheriffs to cut response to non-urgent calls. So this thing is getting real, man. Now, what does this mean? That means crime is going to increase.
Right.
And they're letting you know this. Oh, one more quick point, King. This is supposed to be something done on the inside job. But they want the public to know this. They want people to get off and freak off, man. And I had that spirit of, oh, I can get away with it now. I can finally do my dirt and nobody can catch me. I can break into this guy's house. I can steal his car. And the police can't even arrive because they don't have any gas. You got it, King.
Con, can you hear me?
Con, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, Con. And another point on that too is, I mean, so-called to the people in the world, the only thing keeping them from murdering, killing and raping and robbing and all hell breaking loose is the police, right?
Right.
Because people in the world are not thinking about whether this is a good deed or not, or whether this is evil or not. They're not thinking about that, man. The only thing keeping certain people from certain crimes is knowing that they can get locked up. So if the so-called police isn't there, then all hell was going to break loose in the streets. Right? Let me bring this precept out. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse, right? I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the grinders is everybody in the society helping it to work, right? The men that bring in truckloads, the people that bring in shipments from afar off the coast, your modern day police officers, right? Everything in this society to keep it in motion and keep it running, the food, you understand, the clothing. It's going to get a time where all of the grinders, they're going to cease and they're going to get low. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, man. And that music is the seducing doctrine and spirits in this land. And all of that's going to be brought down low. Esau's economy, Esau's money, the US dollar's already crashed. They're not even accepting it in certain countries, man. So this thing is getting real when you go into it. And that's Bible prophecy kicking off and coming to pass. And it's beautiful that the Lord has it happen so slowly and gradually so that, it's undeniable for you to see it through the spirit.
And I want to get this precept. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. And I want to start at, let's see where I want to start. Right, I'm going to add to that. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 8. It reads, nevertheless, even those thou sparest as men, and didst send wasps, forerunners of thine host, to destroy them by little and little. Not that, and this is speaking about the Canaanites. Before we entered into the promised land, the Lord sent wasps and wild beasts to cut them down by little and little. Not that thou was unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteous in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts or with one rough word. And the Most High could have done that. The Most High don't have to destroy America little by little, but that's what the Most High does. This is how the Most High magnifies his name. This is how he destroyed Egypt. The Lord wasn't just in Egypt and we woke up in the promised land. The Lord destroyed Egypt little by little. Water in the blood, frogs, flies, lice, locusts, etc. Little by little, over a course of time, Egypt was slowly being cut down and destroyed. And simultaneously, the name of Yahweh by Shah was being magnified by little and by little and by little. And that's what's going on in America, right? The Most High is cutting this place down by little and by little, man. Wildfires, damn high prices. You understand? Every day there's something new. Murder rate increasing. This is the work, the handiwork of the Lord, right? Reading on. I'm going to read 9 again. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 9. Not that thou was unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteous in battle. Because the Lord don't have to shut down the economy. He don't have to overthrow the police department or go to do World War III. He can easily put the spirit on the elect to just wipe this place out, or to destroy them at once with cruel beast or with one rough word. The Most High could raise up Leviathan and Behemoth and destroy this place. But what? Verse 10. But executing thy judgments upon them by little and little. Thou gavest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, and that their malice was bred in them, and that their cogitation would never be changed. For it was a cursed seed from the beginning, neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon for those things wherein they sinned. So the Most High knows you're not going to repent. Hey, this is a naughty generation, a wicked, evil, adulterous generation. And the Most High said how he takes places down is by little and by little. And that's why you see it over the course of time, America slowly falling apart, slowly going down the drain, slowly waxing worse and worse. Damn, jobs are becoming more empty and more empty. The debt is increasing more and more, right? And all hell is breaking loose, man. And that's to magnify the name of the Most High, and also to show that the Most High is doing this, man. You know. Now I want to read one part of this, right? Now check this out. This is what the sheriff office said in Michigan. Now it started in Michigan, but we're led to believe this is going to spread. You know. So he said, we have exhausted, Salakia, right? This man said, we have exhausted what funds were budgeted for fuel with several months to go before the budget reset. Sheriff Michael Maine said in a statement, I have instructed the deputies to attempt to manage whatever costs are acceptable over the phone. He said this would be non-ill progress costs, non-life-threatening costs, costs that do not require evidence collection or documentation, right? So it's getting to the point where they're only showing up to where they want to show up, man. And they're not showing up to your hood, man. You Negroes that just kill each other all day, they're not showing up, man. You know? All these murders you're doing and just plundering each other, they're not showing up to that thing, man. They're showing up to the so-called white man neighborhoods, and they're showing up to his areas. And then if you don't get no police in your area, guess what it is, You got it, King.
Con. And America is a joke, man. You know, you got so-called rap celebrities going for city councilmen and presidents. When is Kanye West, man? I mean, this place is a joke, man. Overseas, you got people,
right?
Not that they're required of anything, but they have schooling, educational. They have a background behind it. But now anybody's running for president. This whole place is just uprooted and grounded in sorcery, man. This Isaiah chapter 24 and verse number 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languish, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. So everybody that's merry-hearted was once going to the bars, the clubs, the venues, the parades, the carnivals, things that once had America flourishing and upright and damn dancing to the beat. And now everybody's sighing because this place is going down. It says, the mirth of the tabrets cease. Because what's your modern day mirth, man? Your parades, your dancing, your carnivals, your clubs, right? All of these different venues, man. Right? All of that's coming down to an end, man. And this place, it has a few moments left on the clock of the Lord before the Lord wiped this place out, man. And you can see it. And it's happening on a financial level right now. Because that's going to be the tip of the iceberg. Because like the Lord says, paraphrasing, money answers all things. So once that gets taken down, you have no job security. You have no food. Because, I mean, with money, that's how you put gas in your car to get from point A to point B. That's how you get food in your children's stomachs. You understand? That's how you be able to buy clothing and raiment, man. That's how you do a lot of the things that we do in America. It's through the U.S. dollar. But once that goes down, then people are going to start getting antsy. And all hell is really going to start breaking loose. And it's going to be every man for himself. It says, the merry-hearted doeth sigh. The mirth of the tabret cease. The noise of them that rejoiceth endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion. What does Babylon mean? Confusion. The city of confusion, man. This place is nothing but confusion. You got homosexuality everywhere. You got kids, get shot in the streets and nobody gives a damn and all hell is really breaking loose. This is the city of confusion. It's broken down. Every house is shut up and no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All the joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And the city is left desolate and the gate is smitten with destruction, man. And that smitten with destruction is going to evidently go down with nuclear fire, but it's going to start with all these pestilences, these diseases, the U.S. dollar. This place is going down surely and surely, man. You got it.
God, and like you saying, people they're going to stop going to work, right? They're going to just stop showing up, man, because you're not going to be able to get there, man. I believe somebody said public transportation, that's going to stop, And, it may be 45 people at your so-called workplace, right? Let's say 50. Then you begin to notice as things get worse, now it's only 20 people there. And these guys that left are not being fired. They just can't make it anymore. And then, maybe a month later, it's 10 people there. And then they say, then the damn CEO call the 10 people that's still there and say, look, we have to close up shop, right? We're moving on, and hopefully things get better. We can open up business again. But as of now, we're going to have to lay everybody off. And that's going to be the rhetoric going on in a lot of these companies, man. When people can't travel, you understand, people can't afford to buy their food, to put gas in their car. Some people drive 50 minutes, man, an hour. Some brothers drive down from like an hour and a half. People are going to be sleeping in their cars. Homelessness is going to increase. Poverty, and what more poverty, by default, you have more crime. Anytime you have a high level of poverty in a city, it's backed up by a high crime rate, man. Because the Most High said, let me get this in Proverbs chapter 30, right? Lest I be still, lest I be poor and still, man. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 30 and 7. It reads, 2 things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. That's what Solomon said. He said, please do not deny me these things. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and still and take the name of my God in vain. And a lot of brothers and Babylonians, they're going to become poor. And they're going to become stealing, man. Anytime you have poverty, you have crime, you have sin, and people are going to take the name of the Most High in vain and reap up sin upon Babylon, and ultimately that's going to add more fuel to the fire. People, a lot of these people, they haven't experienced this before, man. They're nervous. I saw something on social media, I think on Twitter, people are talking about they're scared, man, because they never experienced gas $5 a gallon, on top of evictions and rent prices increasing. And now they're finding out that the police won't show up. People are actually nervous, man. Right? This says, let me read this real quick. Gas prices were already putting strain on U.S. drivers who have increasingly been left stuck. See that? Just caught out there on the motorways with empty tanks as they try to test the limits of their fuel gauges. So people are just empty, man. And they're going to be victims out there. Those guys are going to start getting robbed, man. They're going to have to leave their cars out there. People are going to be breaking in their cars, taking what they want to take, according to the AAA. But now the issue is beginning to severely affect police departments and other agencies. According to Michigan County Administrator Nicole Frost, who spoke with the Detroit Free Press, the local sheriff's office had already spent 96% of its fuel budget, with 3.5 months still to go until the end of the fiscal year. Right? And we've read what they quoted earlier, man. As fears grow that gas prices could reach a national average of over $6 a gallon by the end of summer, police agencies around the U.S., so it's not just in Michigan, man, New York, L.A., Chicago, it's already in Detroit, Baltimore, Houston, Miami. Police agencies around the U.S. have been trying to find more ways to limit their gas consumption, such as using more fuel-efficient vehicles, as well as bike and foot patrols. Hey, they're not going to respect you rolling up on a bike, man. Nobody cares about those guys, man. They're on the boardwalk at the beach, riding those speed bikes. Nobody fears those type of police, man. People are going to take advantage of those guys, man. Foot patrol police, those guys aren't really going to have any say-so in things, man. So the police are beginning to lose their power. Esau society is crumbling down. The mighty man is becoming weak. Right, let me get that real quick in Isaiah. Quick precept, King Salakia. This is the book of Isaiah, right? So even Esau's mighty men are becoming weak, man. This Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Right? So the police, they're the lifted up ones, man. Kicking your door down, shooting you while you're eating ice cream, then while you reach for your wallet, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon, and the hot that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fence wall. These are these governments, police department, military, and upon all the pleasant ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. Right? So that's plain. These men, nobody's going to respect, especially these women police officers. You know? There's already videos circulating of people putting these women officers in their place, man. They're not going to respect these women police officers. They're going to grab them up, you know, take their gun from them, and really, you know, do what they want to do, man. You got it, King.
Khan, that's why they got all of these movies out, man, foreshadowing what's going to come to pass. Because they already know these things are going to come to pass, man. You got thousands of movies all around the internet, on Netflix, at the movie theaters, with so-called UFOs, monarchy in the streets, right? The so-called civilians against the government, right? The army men and martial law and all of these things taking place. Because they already understand that these things are shortly going to come to pass, man. Well, let me bring this out. This Esther chapter 1, right, and verse number 12. But the queen Vishti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew the law and judgment. And the next unto him was Kirishina, Shurira, Amadetha, Tereshra, Marshna, and Mishkanin, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat at the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vishti according to the law? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Artaxerxes by the chamberlains. She had this wicked woman, man, during the Persian Empire, not keeping the king's commandments. And this one woman started an uproar with the whole damn kingdom, man. Don't you know, one kick down, one door getting kicked, one person beating a police officer down, somebody in a so-called general position in the government and the police officers, so-called president, anything go down, the people gonna lose their mind. That's all they need. When you see certain movies or you see certain things like riots, it take one damn chair thrown in the window, one person. Next thing you know, it's 50 people damn screaming and jumping on tables. Right? You see a so-called grocery store, one person stole. Now the next thing you know, it's a stampede, man. Reading on. It says, verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. Now, this is dealing with a woman in the Pacific count, but nevertheless, the spirit is still vocalized to this very day, man. One person do something, all hell could break loose. One police officer gets shot, next thing you know, man, it's open season. One thing come to pass with one person, they're going to think it's easy. They're losing their force. It says, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they should despise their husbands in their eyes. And when it shall be reported that King Artaxerxes commanded Vishti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the kings and princes, right? These are men of authority, which have heard of the deeds of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. So it could have been a damn uproar with a bunch of women. How much more grown men that haven't eaten in days, that haven't seen their children, you understand, that need clothes, right? That need medicine, that need water. It takes one thing and all hell breaks loose, man. It's a so-called game. I think it's called Jenga or something like that, where you remove blocks, man. You remove that one block, the whole tower come down. So this thing is serious. So it's that one event and that one thing to kick it off, and all hell was going to break loose.
Con. And Shalom Yardan. Now I want to get this precept too. This is First Kings chapter 12 and verse 11. Right? It reads, now this is King Rehoboam. Now the Lord said, a wise judge, it's like an unwise judge destroyeth his people. And Ecclesiastes chapter 10, 3 on down. Now, 1 Kings 12 and 11. And now, whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. And so-called Joe Biden adding to the yoke, man. You know, things were bad for former leaders and presidents, but he's making it worse, man. Even though he's not really the forefront, he's just a puppet, but he's the leader in the eyes of the people. And he's adding a yoke to the people. They're stressed out. They're trying to figure out what to do. They're scared. They're fearful. It reads, and we're going to see what happened. And I will add to your yoke. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Now I'm going to jump down to the point. Verse 18. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. So when you have wicked leadership and you have men who can't govern the finances and that's oppressing the people, guess what? They rebelled, man. Israel rebelled and they killed the man that was over the tribute, over the money. Who is that equivalent to now?
Yep.
Your top men in the Federal Reserve, your top men who are running this society, your leaders, your government. They're going to start killing these guys, man. Burning these buildings down, storming the Capitol, storming these police departments, storming the grocery stores, your Targets, your Walmarts. And they're going to just start, whoever's in their way, they're just going to start cutting people down. It got that bad in the ancient times. People can only take so much. There's only so much stress you can put on somebody before they have to react. Like the Lord said in Proverbs, the 6th chapter, men do not despise the thief if he steal for the satisfying of his soul. You know, but if he be caught or found, he shall pay all that he hath, paraphrasing, sevenfold. So when men are poor and they got to damn satisfy their soul, they're going to steal, man. And nothing's going to stop them. Nothing's going to stop them from feeding themselves and feeding their family, man. And they actually rebelled against Adoram and they stoned him. It didn't say one man stoned him. It said all Israel stoned him with stones. And the king had to flee, man. And a lot of these kings are going to do that. They're going to go to their underground bunkers. They're going to go to the damn places that they set up in the firmament, under the water, under the ground. And they're going to flee and press that button and let the world destroy itself, man. Because they set this stuff up, right? They're setting up all of the chess pieces and all of the damn people in the position that they want. They're going to press that red button figuratively and let these people wreak havoc on the earth. And that's why the king, he had to flee and all hell broke loose, man. It says, so Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. You know, so that's a rebellion. A rebellion can happen based off of financial stress, based off of how the economy's flourishing, based off of how much money people don't have and the labor that they have to do. It's strenuous, and people kill people, man. We're showing you in the Bible. And they rebel and they overthrow kingdoms over stuff like this. So that's why we titled this also, The Days of the Purge Are Real. They purged that man out, man. You know? The brothers got it.
Quick point that happened to, I think, Boondocks, or certain TV shows, you'll find that when all hell break loose, you'll see the leader on the TV show. They got the little green screen behind him, but in reality, he's in a bunker and he's safe.
Yep.
He got a lifetime supply of food, shelter for him and his family. and he tells you everything's going to be okay.
And you know, people know that, man. You know, people are realizing that these world leaders are set up. So this is another quick article. World shares sink as inflation and economic fears persist. So everybody that's invested in the stock market and you're invested in your 401k plan and your company matching you 5%. Let's see this. It reads, world equities fell on Thursday to an 18-month low, with markets dogged by fears high inflation would persist and force central banks to keep tightening monetary policy. In the U.S., stocks ended with whipsaw. It's like ended a whipsaw session slightly lower as investors juggled fears of nagging inflation with signs it could be peaking. Right, the S&P 500 came within striking distance of confirming a bear market since swooning from its all-time high reached in January. You see that? So people are fearing the stock market, world shares sink, economic fears on the rise, and it's beginning to hit home, man, for a lot of these people, especially a lot of these elites. Right? I want to get this too. Salakia. Boy, man.
Yeah,
To add to that. Con. And with let me pull this up. Or you can bring your precept, Yaradon. I want to get this. You got it, Yaradon.
It's like it is Revelation chapter 6, verse 14. Now, although this is going to happen a little in the future, but, you know, with all hell breaking loose, we know that they're going to move in the same manner. It's Revelation 6 and 14. And when the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Right? Again, this is going to happen in the future, but we know that's going to happen. Something similar is going to happen as well, because your home's not going to be safe. It just won't be the same anymore, because you'll see a mass amount of break-ins. So people are going to go into the wilderness, into the woods, into the mountains, because that's where they'll find their help and their succor. This is verse 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Again, that's not to the future, but a man is going to move in the same spirit during Jacob's trouble. Certain men are going to hide in the trees, hide under your house. Because when you see a man's house and it's unguarded, it's going to look like a treasure chest. It won't have that. You won't have that same security in your house anymore. So a man's going to become a pilgrim and move and dwell in another place.
And you know, this guy Biden that told you that if you don't vote for me and you're not black, what good has he done for you, man? A lot of you jakes, you went outside to your local school or your church, you went to the polls and voted for Creepy Joe because he pulled your black card and said, if you don't vote for me, well, you're not a black person. You know, and a lot of you guys, you got offended at that and went to vote for him, man, to win his favor and his love. Well, guess what, man? He's telling you that gas and food prices, they're not coming down anytime soon. This is what he's telling you. He admitted it. He's letting you know that guess what? You got to deal with it, man. Yeah, you go to the store and a bag of apples is $10, $12. It was $3.99 yesterday. Now it's $12.99 today. Guess what? You got to deal with it. Hey, out here in Baltimore, gas is well over $5, $5.10. I think in Chicago, gas. Oh, in Detroit, $5.19.
Yep.
See that? I think in California, if you brothers that's in Cali on a comment board, right? How much is gas out there, man? Right? You brothers that's in LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland, Fresno, right? How much is gas out on the West Coast? Okay, they say $5.19 in Philly. That's about the same thing in Detroit. $6.50. You know, so it's getting bad out there, man. $6.50.
We're not
$6.75.
lying.
$6.85.
This isn't just
$5.60
in
in
your.
Rhode Island.
All right.
Oh, go ahead. It might be a delay.
It's a slight delay. Slovakia. This isn't in your local neighborhood. We're bringing out the receipts. This is in real life, in real time, right now. $5.19 all throughout the states. You got it.
That's hey, look, you're saying $6.50 in the Bay Area, man. There's only so much traveling you can do with that. And he's coming out and letting you know gas and food prices aren't coming down anytime soon. Get a little of this. Right? President Biden acknowledged Wednesday. See, I'm a daughter to a king, said I seen a video where gas is $6.69. Yakanan Yasha'Allah, downtown LA gas is $8.50. So, I mean, you can't live like that. If gas was $8.50 in Baltimore, I mean, all hell is going to break loose, man. They want the people to rebel. They want riots. They want pandemonium and anarchy, man. This is all a game to the elites, right? But let me get this. This President Biden, this is from the New York Post, right? President Biden acknowledged Wednesday that Americans would be feeling the pain from skyrocketing food and gas prices for some time to come Wednesday as consumer costs at the pump hit another new high. The idea we're going to be able to click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, right? Nor is it with regard to food. Because you got to remember, they said we're not dealing with Russia. We don't need any gas from Russia. Russia imports a lot of gas to America and to other European nations. Biden said we don't need that. So he's pressing that self-destruct button in Babylon. As Biden spoke, the average nationwide price of a gallon was at $4.67, right? And this is a little bit older article. This article is maybe 12 days old, 13 days old, give or take. So now gas average is around $5. It reads, I want to get a little bit more on this. Salakia. Look at this guy. Bear with me. All these. Right, says, I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take. Yellen said in an interview with CNN on Tuesday, as I mentioned, there have been anticipated large shocks to the economy that have boosted energy and food prices and supply bottlenecks that have affected our economy badly, that I at the time didn't fully understand, but we recognize now. And the world is beginning to recognize what's really going on, man. That this man who said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And now you, Jakes, you're affected by this, man. See that Corey Mooney said he bought a 12-pack of soap for almost $10. Things are getting bad out here, man. And if you don't make over damn $125,000 or $120,000 or even $100,000, you're gonna be caught out there, man. And a lot of Jakes you make about 17, 18, you know, you might make 16, maybe 20, 21. We don't have it like that, man. So we're gonna be affected the worst, man. I know a brother, he makes $13 and he's trying to survive. You can't survive off of $13 an hour, you know? And people are going to start getting hungry. Right? And all that ordering out, all of those deep dishes, all of that I'm taking my woman out, all that stuff is going down, man. And man is going to have to make tough decisions in these days. Let me get this precept real quick.
I got one after you.
Come. This is 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. Right? 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And the Lord is sending plagues on the earth, similar to what he did in ancient Egypt. You understand? The exact same thing. Famine, economic collapse. It reads, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Right? It says shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And Ezra said it's going to be so bad on the earth. He even said, when you read chapters earlier in 2nd Esdras 8, the Lord said, unto you a tree of life is planted. You know, the kingdom is prepared. He told Ezra that. And Ezra saw what happened and what was life like on the earth during the days that are coming on the earth. He said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. And he was one of the elect. And he knew that he was going to make it. But that his flesh said, how can anybody survive? How can anybody survive these days on the earth? Right? It reads, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? And if you haven't read 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 16, then read it. These chapters, you're about to live these chapters. The beginning of wars, famines, great death, different nations and a power standing in fear. Ezra said, what shall I do when these evils shall come? People are going to start rebelling, burning cities down, you know, burning damn grocery stores and shopping malls and Targets and Walmarts and just looting, man. It's going to be massive looting and robbery, man. Let me get one more, King Slaki, real quick. I paraphrased it. This is a quick one. It's Proverbs chapter 6, real quick. This Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. So men are going to start being thieves out there, man. You know? And people aren't really going to despise them because they're going to be thieving too. There was a time when you see a man still in the grocery store and it's like a shock. Like, oh, wow, did you see that? Right? And some people might say something to the cashier or, you know, to the manager, hey, that guy's stealing. But those guys, they're not going to despise those thieves because they know they got to eat. And those guys, they're going to watch that guy steal and they're going to steal, man. Then a security guard, he's going to watch that. He's going to eventually take that big vest off and he's going to do what he has to do too. It says, men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. And men are going to try to satisfy their soul, man. You got it, King.
Come on. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 64, and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And they sit at round tables and conjure all these things up, huh? You understand? How they going to rise all of these prices? They already got liquor stores and churches and damn gun shops in every single hood. All of this is already programmed and planned ahead of time, huh? This thing is just moved out like an architectural man. You don't just build a building. You sit there, you get the supplies, you get the hammers, you get the steel, you get the brass, you get the nails, you get the dimensions and things like that, and then you start to build. The same way when you go to war. You know how many men you're going to set over here, whether it be an ambush. You know how you're going to go to war, what weapons, how many men is going to be. You understand you're going up against. The same way when these heathens and their crafty counsel, they take down the nation, man. You don't just do that immediately. They sit back and see what disease they could bring forth. How could they bring it forth? With mass, with sticks and jabs, with massive confusion, with scaredness. All of these are tactics, man. And you can't be ignorant to it. They're not just going to say, stop eating. Everybody just stop eating. It's not going to happen, man. They're going to slowly break certain things down and box you into a corner and make you do the things that they want to happen. It says, who wept their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? And that's all of the craftiness of all that's coming to pass, man. It's going to come to a pass where they're going to just start pushing out the only thing to eat is unclean foods. That's probably the next thing. When all of the chicken go down and all of the damn burgers and the beef, you understand, and the bison and venison and all of these different things, they go off the shelves, and the lamb and the goat, they're going to just start selling all abominations, man. And a lot of you jakes going to start scratching your damn neck, man. You're going to start having withdrawals. You're going to start going the hell off. And this whole nation is pushed to accustom you to go off with the laws of the Lord. From the TV to what they teach in the school systems, to what they feed you, right? From the toothpaste to the snacks, even what's in water, man. Right? Even your clothes. All of this is to keep the children of Israel in sin. Right? Let me get this quick precept. It's the book of Lamentation. Let me get this real fast. Right? It's the book of Lamentation, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain hope. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us, man. And this nation can't save you. Stop putting your trust in your 401k. Stop putting your trust in your new job that just hired you, man. Stop putting trust in these carnal things in a society that's going to destroy you. This place is going down, and if you put your trust in it, right, you got a lot of people saying, I'm going to stock up on this. I'm going to get that together. I'm going to move here. Hey, you can't plan that thing. What did the Lord say plan? Plan for what you're going to do in the days to come. Last time I read, the Lord said he is a guide unto them that keep the commandments. In the book of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. The Lord's going to guide you. The Lord's going to open up doors. The Lord is going to feed you. You can't put pear in this thing, right? Let me get this quick precept in 1 Kings, right? It's the book of 1 Kings. And them days of faith are back on the earth. It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 17 and verse number 9. Arise, get thee to Sepharth, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. And we don't know when we're pilgrims on the earth whether the Lord is going to push us and place us to sustain us. But you have to have faith that the Lord is going to have that come to pass. You don't have faith, you're scared, you're carnal, you give your mind over to it's either me or you. You start to grab swords. You start to become and accustom yourself unto these heathens and adapt into your environment. You're going to die, man. You're going to get killed. Because that's what this world and this society wants you to do, to be carnal, to adapt, to blend in, to go off, to lose faith. Faith isn't just, right, do you believe in the Lord, man?
Brother,
A
cut
lot of
out.
Jacob, it's deeper than that, man. Do you believe when you're in the middle of the ocean, man, on a damn plank like Paul? Are you going to believe when you're in the lion's den? You understand, like Daniel, when your back is against the wall? That's when it is counted. When you're in the fire, you understand? It says, reading on, it says, so he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he had came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. Right? So nevertheless, you understand, through the spirit, he got fed. The Lord led him. The Lord protected him. The Lord was there for him, man. And that's how it's going to be in the days that come with vengeance. If you don't trust in the Lord and you put your carnal understanding and spirit into man, you're going to be destroyed, man. And what happened in 1 Kings, the 21st chapter? And it was killing people, man, right? They killed Naboth, you understand? Jezebel. And they took his land and they took his vineyard. That's what's going to happen when you don't got nothing to eat. People will kill you and take what you have. When you're a pilgrim on the earth, you don't know where the food is. You don't know what's your next stop in the next city. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know who you're going to be with. All you're going to have is faith. You understand? Of the Lord. And if you give up, tax out, or put your trust into anything other than the Most High, you understand, in this society, the Lord is going to overthrow you.
Con. Let me pull this up real quick to add to that. All right, Salakia. I wanted to pull. Oh, now this is also happening. So not only do you have, can brother see this? You should see if this is showing.
Yeah.
So not only do you have food prices increasing, not only do you have gas prices increasing, but now the average Babylonian, your rent prices are surging across the nation. So your rent may be, let's say you pay, even though the cost of living varies from state to state, but let's say you pay $1,200. Let's say you pay $1,000, right, for a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. You know, hey, the days are coming next month that may be $1,500. By the end of the wintertime, it may be $2,000. So your job, what you make, let's say you make $1,750 an hour. You can survive. You can pay that $1,000, but when it's $1,500, you can't pay that. You're just not going to be able to make that happen, right? Then you may try to get another job. You understand? And then these jobs are closing. So now people are going to be hit with these hard times, man. And the days of being comfortable are slowly coming to an end. Being able to go on vacation, travel around the world, you understand, being able to enjoy this life. These days are coming to an end, right? It reads, rent prices surge nationwide in May. Texas City hit the hardest. Austin, Texas saw rent prices surge nearly 50%, while Nashville, Seattle saw prices climb 30%. I believe in Manhattan, they say you can't move in unless you make over $125,000. Right? Or you have to make 3 times that amount. I mean, you're not going to just be able to survive, man.
Yeah.
Landlords knocking at your door because they got to eat too. So rent is going to increase because they got to eat and they got to pay for these things, man. Right? Let me get this. It reads, the median monthly asking rent nationwide exceeded $2,000. That's the median monthly asking rent. Every brother don't have $2,000, man. A month. Not every brother can just kick out 2 G's a month, man. That's the national average. So what does that mean? That means a lot of people are going to be struggling, looking to make it, scratching their head, stealing. You know? And theft is going to be one of the main sins coming back on the earth, man. Let me get this in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Right? Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. Things are waxing worse. Too grand, that's madness. Right? 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Another word for perilous is dangerous. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. And these are the perilous times, man, without natural affection. People are going to beg mercy from their landlord. Look, I really don't have it like that. I'm trying to get this other job. If you just give me next month, let me give you this now. I give you $1,000 now. Can I please give you $1,000 next month? They're going to say no. Look, I can't do that for you. I'm sorry. If I do that for you, I got to do that for everybody. Now, if you don't have it, a lot of people, they're not going to leave. Even though rent is increasing and you can't pay your rent, they're not going nowhere, man. Because the police, they're barely coming out. They're not going to come out for situations like that to evict you out your house. They don't have any gas. They're not coming out for non-life-threatening situations. So people that can't pay their rent, hey, it's going to be fights going on, man. People are going to be rioting, just squatting. People are going to be turning the power off in the buildings, cutting the water off. It's not going to be any water in your building, any electricity, and you're going to have to eventually pack up and leave and go somewhere, man. So these are the days that draw nigh on the earth. You have to think about these scenarios and the chain, the ripple effect it has, man. All right, let me read a little bit more of this. It reads, last month, median rent rose 15% from a year ago, reaching a record 2002. The technology-powered real estate brokerage reported consumers are being pushed into the rental market due to rising mortgage interest rates and higher home prices. So nobody's really buying homes to rent them out. However, it's keeping rent sky high, according to Redfin Deputy Chief Economist Taylor Mark. Even with rent prices increasing, it's still more affordable for Americans than buying a home, as mortgage payments have surpassed rents on many homes, and rent is skyrocketing, man. I know certain places in Baltimore, it's ridiculous. You have to fight tooth and nail to get a place, man. I know parts of DC, Virginia, you can't live out there. There's this video of this guy, even from DC. He works for the government, man. He's out there homeless. But brothers got it. I want to bring this article out.
I got a quick precept. It's 2nd Ezra 16. Before I get it, I was literally speaking, and this is the spirit. We was talking about that last Sabbath as well. I was saying word for word, bar for bar. Jake, you're comfortable. You're pampered. You have the ability to go on your phone, go on DoorDash or Grubhub, and have somebody bring you food. You have all the information at the tips of your fingers, but you spend your night doing folly with yourself in your hands. Jake, you binge watch TV. Jake, you're comfortable. You can learn anything on the internet. You're just so used to and comfortable to this place that when all hell break loose, you're not going to know what to do. Jake, you don't know how to fish. You don't know how to run. You can't do nothing for yourself. You're a big baby. I'm not speaking to the brothers in the truth because we have an idea of what's going on. And having an idea is a 400-meter head start. Plus we have the faith that the Lord deliver us. All right, so this is message. You Jakes, you got to wake up. The 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And if you've been slothful or lukewarm, or been here and there a little, now is the time to spark up that fire. Make sure that you're praying more, fasting more, doing everything you can do to make sure your calling and election is sure. Bringing all the fruits before the altar to the Heavenly Father. And make sure that's a sweet savor before it smells. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 43. It's like verse 41. Let me jump down to get to the point. 44. They that marry as they that shall get no children. And that's another thing as well. You're seeing a lot of people, they're not having kids anymore. Why is that? The rent is $1,000, $1,700, and a minimum wage in the state is 10. Of course, nobody's gonna have children. But let me, I digress. Let me continue. That they that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. Damn. Verse 45. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. You working to make ends meet. It's in vain. It's vanity. Because again, the rent is $3,000 and you're making $15 an hour at McDonald's. Coming home smelling like burgers and fries and straws in your back pocket that you forgot to put back. Yeah, you know, your apron all dirty. And you see that eviction, that orange or pink eviction note that's highlighted. And you kind of just put your head down. This is what's coming. It's slowly and surely happening. As the days proceed in this place that we call Babylon the Great, they're going to see it more and more frequently. And when that man sees that yellow, from afar, he's walking home, he's off the bus, and he sees that pink yellow slip, he kind of get mad. He is real angry. And he looks at his neighbor, and he kind of wonder what he got going on. Kind of look at him. You look at his shoes. He's looking in his windows. And he asks him, what do you have? And that's where it begins. Because again, it's not just going to start off people just running in your house. And just, no, it's a build up. This is a build up. We have to paint the picture for Israel. Hey, even McDonald's, the brother said even McDonald's prices are rising. That McGriddle, that nasty ass McGriddle that used to be $1.30 is $2. And or maybe $3. Let me keep reading. 2nd Ezra 16 and 45 again. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruit, and spoil their goods, and overthrow their houses, and take children captives for the captivity, and famine shall they get children. You know, again, that man going to see your kids, and how can I make money off of them? Maybe I can sell them. How do you think trafficking goes on? Why is that happening? People don't have any money. That's a lucrative, I don't want to call it a profession, but that's a lucrative, wicked thing to do. That's where the money is. Money is always in the wicked works. I got one more. Let me jump down.
Hey, why you real quick point? They're saying people are squatting now in Airbnbs, man. They're not leaving the Airbnbs anymore, and they're fighting the people that's trying to get them to leave.
I've seen that too.
See that? So
Yes.
people they're putting a down deposit. Oh, go ahead, y'all. I know you had a precept.
No. That was it on that.
Oh. So yeah, they're doing that now. So people are saying, okay, look, we need the Airbnb from July 1st to July 8th. And they pay that down payment on that security deposit, man. Right? For that Airbnb. Okay, look, I just got the information. Inside scoop. Let me put this up. Right? Just got the deal. Right? This from DC Squatters. Let me pull this up. Right? Bear with me. So this is the inside scoop, man. Can brother see that? Squatters found inside Maryland apartment after residents returned from vacation. Right? So people are squatting. They're going to Airbnbs and they're not leaving. They're not, checkout time at a hotel is what, 11? They're not checking out at 11. The Northern Kingdom sister or the Edomite or whatever, they're knocking at the door. It's 12 o'clock and you keep telling them, give me one more minute. Then it's 2 p.m. Give me one more minute. 3 p.m. Give me one more minute. Now they trying to damn open the door. But then you put that little hook on there so they can't open the door. So now they call the police, but the police not coming out, man. People are going to start squatting, and eventually just living in these places, man, and doing what they have to do and resorting to all manner of lewdness and profanation. So these are the days that are on the earth that link up with Yaradan, what Yaradan said, man. You know, but brothers got it. I want to pull this back up.
Con. Let me get this quick precept.
Con.
Right. Book of Proverbs, chapter 28, and verse number 27. He that giveth, right, unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. Right. Let me jump up to verse number. This whole thing is fire. I'm gonna start at 20. A faithful man should abound with a blessing, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. Right? So, I mean, that piece of bread, all hell's going to break loose, man. You'll steal from your grandmother for that bread, man. And you know, grandma, where she hide all the snacks in that cabinet. You know exactly where all the juice is on the floor. You know what everything is, man. You know what grandma had her damn so-called candy, man, in the top drawer of her bed, right on that nightstand. Jake, you know everything about your family, and for a piece of bread, you'll transgress, right? You'll turn into somebody else, man, right? They got a so-called commercial. I think it's the Snickers thing. When you get hangry, them turn into a different person. I mean, it was like I believe like a damn football player. It's like an old lady, and she's like, I'm getting hungry. Next thing you know, man, damn. When you get hungry, you'll do anything, man. You'll steal, eat unclean foods. The wicked will do. They'll steal, they'll eat unclean foods. Your mind isn't right. You know, because that's a mighty precept in Proverbs chapter 30, right? And verse 8, man. Because the Lord, you know, we need just enough as a people. Because we get too much, you understand, we'll start getting lackadaisical and we'll start thinking that we don't need the Lord. But if we get too much, we get too little, Jake mind will stop being right. They'll start moving in a different spirit, man. And their spirit won't be right. The next thing you know, they'll be in sin and they'll be going off. Right? Reading on, it says, he that hasteth to be rich have an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. Right? So, I mean, a lot of people used to be rich, and you don't even have to necessarily be rich, but to just keep your head above waters. You're going to fall into destruction. You're going to fall into wickedness, man. Right? Let me get this other quick precept in Job. Right? This is the book of Job. Right? Real fast. It's the book of Job. Right? Verse number 21, chapter 21 and verse 22. Shall any teach God knowledge, seeing he judge of those that are high? One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in the bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. You're going to have certain men, they're going to die in the bitterness of their soul, and they're not going to eat with pleasure, right, in the days of come. It says, they shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worms shall cover them. Right? So nevertheless, you're going to have the wicked of the earth, which are the rich. Then you're going to have the poor. Right? They're both going to lie alike down in the dust, but nevertheless, you know, you're going to have the righteous. The Lord is going to feed them. The Lord is going to protect them. Read the book of Isaiah, the 41st chapter, man. Read Job, the 5th chapter. Read many of precepts like 1 Kings 17, 1 Kings 19. And the Lord will feed you, man. The Lord will protect you. But you have to believe that thing, man. Once you start to give in to the society and their peer pressure, right, and you're going to fall. Like not too long ago, before they pushed the mandate of the so-called jab wearing the mask, you know, a lot of people were, well, maybe I should, you know, get it. You know, what precept says I can't? And they start bending the understanding to survive. If you bend your understanding to survive, you have no integrity. You have no self-willness to yourself to maintain a spirit of thanksgiving and hope and faithfulness in the Lord. And you put all your trust in what you can physically see and touch, and you begin to be carnal. You begin to wax worse and worse. And your mind continues to go down until you have no mind left. Until you're fitting in and you're no different from a Babylonian in this life, man. You have to have some type of integrity. It says, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. And the Lord knows whether you think he's going to save you or be with you or protect you in that, man. Let me get this quick precept in Isaiah. All right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, right, and verse 17. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none. What does it mean there is none? It's not talking about they ran out of Deer Park on aisle 7, man. When there's no water, meaning all of these places are shut down. You're not going to be able to casually get in your car and go to the grocery store. You're not going to be able to find Dasani, Deer Park. You're not going to be able to find Aquafina and all of these different brands, man. It says, and their tongue faileth for thirst. I, the Lord, will hear them. And how many people are actually going to be praying in those days? Because it's going to take a strong man to pray in those days, man. Because your mind immediately is going to go carnal. Let somebody slap you or step on your shoe. A lot of Jake's first thought is, man, who the beat, 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 beat. You get carnal immediately. Spirits hopping you immediately. The last thing on your mind is the Lord. Not, well, you know what? Let me stay in the spirit. Let me walk away. Let me flee from sinners from the face of the earth. You don't be spiritual. A lot of people jump carnal. How much more when your stomach is beating on you? You got pain. You got children crying. Your wife's looking up to you. It says, and their tongue fell for thirst. I will hear them. I, the Lord, God, I, the God of Israel, were not forsaken. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. And I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. So the Lord is going to open up places for you to go, you understand? And he's going to strengthen up your mind. You have to pray for stable capability too, man. This is going to be hard. Now you can have all of the laws and you know all of the commandments, you know all of the precepts, but if you don't have the faith and the strong mind in those days, then you're accustomed to the God. What?
That's right. It quick point. If you can't get through your battles that's presented to you today, if you can't overcome and fight these battles that the Lord give you, you know, ultimately boost your faith, then what are you doing in this thing? If you can't go through the little things today, how are you going to go through the big things in Jacob's trouble? Because you got to build yourself up in this thing. You have to have a strong mind. Jake, you can't be alone for 5 minutes without picking up your phone, calling somebody. You can't just sit alone and meditate on the scriptures, praise the Lord for 5 minutes straight, or at least 10 minutes. You got to ask yourself, when was the last time you went to the park, just read the scriptures? Just kind of observe nature so you can learn something from the animals. This 2 Ezra 16 and 27. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. People are going to be very, very lonely in those days. There's going to be a wasteland. You might even see the little tumbleweed, you know, go across the street. You hear the damn door open and closing by the wind. You hear a noise, you kind of turn, what's that? You know? So you got to be strong in those days. You got to be strong now to be strong in those days, or else. Or else. You got it.
Real fast. Like Tom Hanks in Castaway, man. He made a damn ball and he made a friend out of it, man.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
Yeah. Like them I Am Legend days.
Yep. He had that mannequin.
Yeah.
Kind of talk and touch that mannequin. For brothers that just may not know, here's the picture.
I worked at the water cooler and social media. People literally are on social media 24/7, 7 days a week. They hop from Twitter to Instagram to Facebook within a span of 4 hours. Then they go on TikTok for the last 3 hours. You know, and they're just on there doing God knows what. People are going to lose their mind, man. You know, I wanted to get this real quick, Salakia, to let me back. This is what's going on the earth right now. Now check this out. Now let me see if I could open this. Right? This is what's going on. Hold on. How do I make this sound? So I don't know how to get the sound to work. I'm going to find this video. But basically, you got this person squatting in this person's house.
It was
two Eves.
Yeah, yep.
Now I don't have the sound on it for some reason, but I'm gonna play the video. You can check it out on your own. I don't know if brothers can find it with the sound. So here's the video to Eve is at her Airbnb, and there's another Eve just walking around who refuses to leave. She's not going any damn where. She's going to the kitchen making a hoagie. People are doing this, man. You know, I got to figure out how to get this sound on this thing. But people aren't leaving anymore, man. All right, let me play that again. They're in their house. So I don't even know how to work this TikTok madness, man. Let me see. I don't even have TikTok. Look at this. They're in her house, and the other woman walking around in the back is not going any damn where. Right? She's not going anywhere, man.
Salakia King. Check the chat. I just sent the joint.
All right, let me see.
See if you could pull it up from there.
All right, let's see if we can pull this up. So this thing is getting crazy. Right? This thing is getting ridiculous, man. People might break in your house and just say, I'm not going nowhere. Do something about it. 5 of them. Right? You wake up, like brothers seen that movie, A Devil in a Blue Dress. Denzel Washington went into his house. He was eating a sandwich, man. So, do you want to sit right here? And they were stronger than him in his own house, man. And they were bigger than him. And he had to deal with it. They were just in his house making a sandwich, doing whatever they wanted to do. Now, if he had a woman in that movie, they would have, dealt with his woman, man. You know? So let me play this clip. This is the clip of what's going on with these squatters.
My mortgage a little better.
All right, now check this out. Check this madness out. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. All right, can brothers see this?
Come on.
So it says, lady rented. It's like a lady says she rented out an Airbnb and the person will not leave her home.
Pay off my mortgage a little better, a little quicker, or whatever.
Can y'all hear it?
Come on.
All right, come. See if I can turn this up a little bit.
Pay off my mortgage a little better, a little quicker, or whatever. So I put this ad out or whatever, saying I was looking for someone to sublease one of the rooms in my house or whatever. It was gonna be supposed to be like this real smooth transaction, whatever. I went on vacation or whatever. The person was supposed to be gone 3 days prior to my return. So I was talking to my housekeeper, whatever, XYZ. She's like, yo, that person is still here in your house. What do you mean they're still in my house? It's supposed to be gone. So when I get back and touch down in the city, guess who's still here in my house, okay? Refusing to leave. So I don't know what to do. I'm used to this shit. So I go down and I do there you go, y'all.
That's madness, man. While she's doing the TikTok, the lady walks by that's in her house, man. Proud. As if nothing's happening, man. Just in there, man. Doing what she wanted to do.
Comfortable.
Let me go to 2nd Ezra 15 real quick. Let me get a quick precept, man. Right? Let me get this real quick. This 2nd Ezra is the classic, chapter 15, because she's being nice about it. But it's not going to be like that forever. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And this is a mild version of that happening. She's not even being violent, yet. But the days are coming, they're going to be in your house and she's going to attack you, man. Or she may have guys in the back ready to overthrow the house and just rob and take everything. She's not going to live there. She's going to take what she wants and then move on to the next place. Look at this madness.
Refusing to leave. So I don't know what to do. I'm used to this shit. So I go down and I do there you go, y'all. Straight to the kitchen.
Going straight to that 2nd Ezra chapter 15, man. Spoiling her goods because
Eating
of the
all
lack
the food.
eating all of the food, man. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. She said you gotta deal with it. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
She said, I'm not going nowhere, so deal with it.
Straight to the kitchen.
So I mean, what do we have to say? What more can we say? I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna play that one more time. I'm not going anywhere, so you gotta deal with it.
Go down and I do there you go, y'all. Straight to the kitchen.
She said, so deal with it.
So deal with it, man. I'm not going anywhere, so you gotta deal with it. And a lot of these women gonna get jammed up because not only do you have that going on, man, you have a tampon shortage.
Yep.
So you have shortages on baby formula. I was out doing things today, and I took a picture. And I saw this. I gotta pull this up, man. All right, let me turn this off and pull this up. Now check this out before I get into that. This is all baby formula to support as many customers as possible. There is a maximum of 3 units per customer. Right? Your family's health is our top priority. We ask for your patience while we work to secure additional supplies as quickly as possible. All baby formula, 3 per customer. So now I took a picture of this today, man, when I was out doing things, And guess what? That's real. People are rationing out food. There's a shortage of baby formula. There's a shortage on tampons, man. There's a shortage on tampons. So now what, Eve? Now Eve, what are you gonna do, man? We've been telling you not gonna have any feminine products. Maxi pads, tampons, makeup. So guess what? You're gonna be caught out there too, man. And all that clubbing, twerking. I'm not about to get graphic, but you're not going to be able to do those things, man, without these feminine products. All that popping so-and-so and doing God knows what in the night, those days are over. I know you got something, King.
Let me bring this precept. It's Jeremiah 4:31. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion, that bewelleth herself, that spreadeth her hand, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers. So, I mean, women are going to say, woe is me in those days. Woe is me. And we telling you that this thing is coming to pass, man. You're not going to be able to have deodorant, right? You're not going to sit there and be able to have effeminate products, right? In areas that you need. You're not going to have things that you have now, man. You're not going to have Walmarts, Walgreens, and CVS's in those days. Those things are going to get ravished and stolen. And the CEO and the person making $15 an hour is not going to guard CVS with his life. He's going to be stealing too.
Right.
He's going to be the first. They're going to be the first thieves. These people in these medical, what do they call them? Pharmaceutical places, they're going to steal all of the medicines. They're going to steal all of these different herbs and these different pills. And it's going to be hard on earth, man. And this thing is serious. And you're going to have to enter into days. And a lot of people look at the Bible like those miracles and those signs were just of old. The Lord is going to have those things happen all again on the earth. I mean, everything is double to that which is. You had a first Egypt, you got a last Egypt, man. You understand? You had famines in the ancient world, you're going to have famines again. You had pestilence in the ancient world, you're going to have pestilence again. And the Lord delivered the children of Israel, you understand, through signs and wonders, and helped them in days of trouble. The Lord is going to do that all over again.
Yeah, it's going to get bad, man. Right? Let's go to the classic. Let's go to Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. Right? It's going to get bad, man. Right? All you so-called black women, I don't need no man. You out there popping and freaking off and thotting. Right, you hopping out the car in a red light. You know? Getting on top of the roof, twerking on the damn trunk of the car, twerking, man. Hey, I was at the gas station up the street, and Eve gets out the car, and they all freaking off, man. Playing some damn wicked Negro music, man. And the men up there, they selling weed. You go in the gas station, I got the so-and-so. I got the so-and-so for you. Watching Eve twerk. This society is finished, man. Like Ryan said, there's no more deodorant, no more tampons, no more maxi pads. You better find something else, man. People gonna take their old shirts, right? Your old Gucci shirt, your Michael Kors, you know. It's going, like the brother said, things are getting fishy. They're gonna start getting real fishy. This Isaiah chapter 32 and 9, right? It reads, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days." It didn't say 1 week or 3 days. It says many days and years shall ye be troubled. Yea, careless woman, for the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. What's the vintage? The vintage is a harvest, the increase. So all your money is going to fail. All of your accessories are going to fail. All of your clothes, your red bottoms, your MAC lipstick, your damn Prada this, your damn Dior this, all that stuff is going to fail. Your $300, $500 weave, them nasty eyelashes, you know, your eyeliner, your mascara. And you're going to have to really show who you are, man. You're not going to be able to get your nails done, your toes done, toothpaste. You're going to be caught out there, right? It reads, supply chain problems and inflation have hit virtually all consumer goods. But women who menstruate, now I don't know what women doesn't, right? But women who menstruate are now facing an added strain as a shortage of period products hits the United States. And we've been saying this for quite some time, huh? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abushai. Right? Top retailers, and people say you're fear mongering. You shouldn't say that. Well, now you see it happening, man. Top retailers and manufacturers acknowledged the shortages this week, confirming complaints that have been circulating on social media for months. The issue garnered national attention this week After an article in Time called "The Dearth of Tampons and Pads, the shortage no one is talking about." Right? I haven't seen any products in stores for months. One user posted on Reddit, I've been ordering my tampons on Amazon and that bidding price gouged. See that? And prices are up. Here's one more. Tampon prices are up significantly, nearly 10% from a year ago, according to Bloomberg. But an Amazon spokesperson denied rumors of price gouging, saying its policies, quote unquote, help ensure sellers are pricing their products competitively, and that the company actively monitors pricing and removes offers that violate its fair pricing policy. But guess what? You got to deal with it, man. These are the days on earth, right? And a lot of you women, oh, he can't afford me, right? What else does Eve say? You can't afford me. I'm a bad bee.
They tricking if you got it.
Yeah. All of that old nasty lingo, man. You know?
Right.
Pay my bills. Oh, what's that? I don't want no scrub. You know? A scrub is a guy, can't get no love from me, man. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend ride, man. Trying to holler at me. Hey, Eve, you gonna be jammed up, man. In those days. To the left. Everything you have in the box, to the left. I can have another one in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. That's off. Put a ring on it. Twerking and dancing, saying put a ring on it. Eve, you're gonna be caught out there, man. Right, you got it. I gotta get Yara down in here.
Con. Right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 34. Right? And if you don't humble down, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Well, let me get this quick precept too in second Esdras. The second Esdras 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Now, you don't necessarily need a husband to get the kingdom of heaven, but it's gonna be detrimental if you don't have one, man. Who else is going to guide you and protect you and lead you and show you which way to go? And a lot of women, they're double-minded. They don't have the instinct that a man has, nor the bravery or strength, because they're the weaker vessel. Not that the Lord can't protect them and guide them. Nevertheless, the Lord set up the man. You understand? And the men are going to be those ones, you understand, protecting the women in those days. People going to be slaves during those days. Women is going to be a hot commodity. They're going to be selling women in Jacob's trouble for sex slaves, to carry the food, and it's going to get bad, man. Children, it says, the women shall mourn. And what's it mean, mourn? Mourn isn't just you just cry one time. You're going to be mourning all of Jacob's trouble. Every day, every hour, we're just going to be crying and mourning that you're with a 6'5" fat Edomite grabbing you by the hand, man, leading you around places you don't want to go because you were too proud. And the Lord may flash these thoughts in front of you, man. All the men that tried to talk to you, to help you, to guide you, right, to show you the words of the Lord, right? And you didn't want to do that, man, because you was too busy dyking. It says, shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers, man. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. So if you bet anything, you better count on the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? Reading on in Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse number 35. It says, yet ye say it, because I am innocent. Surely his anger shall turn from me. And a lot of people say they're innocent in this thing.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen to them. They're okay. I know the Lord. I'm justified. Where is that in the Bible, man? It says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. How much more you in your wickedness? It says, I am innocent. Surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee because thou sayest, I have not sinned. And that's a lot of even their pride. I haven't sinned. I haven't went off. This is a bad bee season or damn, whatever they call it, man. Bad bee summer. right? The Lord is not dealing with that. You got it.
Hey, like Nasha Alia put in the comment board, that called Tyrone spirit, man. You know? So Eve, man, all of them songs that you get off on, you freak off on, man. Hot Girl Summer, The City Girls. A brother said, a sister said, if he can't afford outside vibes, then I'm not dealing with him. Things are getting expensive, man.
Well, Eva say she got to pay for my best friends. If he can't pay for my friends, he's out the door.
Yep.
OTD.
Let me get this precept in Isaiah the 32nd chapter. Absolute madness. So I mean, the Most High is going to humble Eve down, man. Right, men, you're going to get humbled, and a lot of you, Eve, you're going to get humbled, man. It reads Isaiah 32:1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. Who's the king? Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Who are the princes? The men of the Lord. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So man is going to be a hiding place, man. I mean, you're going to see destruction and see famine and pestilence. And the Lord said he's going to make a man. It's like you're more precious than the gold of Ophir. That's how the Israelite man is going to be pursuant to Isaiah the 13th chapter. More precious than fine gold. And you had that video of Riot that the Eve was there being a demon about, man.
Yeah.
Eating a hot Doritos with 1,000 pounds of weave and demons in her mind saying he's trying to convert me to a new religion. But I just want to damn do God knows what, man. You know? So the Lord said a man's going to be a hiding place. Right? And a man don't have to take you, man. Eve, you're going to be repulsive in those days. You're damn bleeding out, stink. You know? You're not going to be able to keep yourself up. So this tampon shortage is the real deal, man. And prices are skyrocketing. Prices are skyrocketing. Shortages of raw material and supply chain bottlenecks aren't unique to period products. But much like the U.S. infant formula shortage, there is an unrelenting and urgent biological demand for them that can't be easily substituted. People who menstruate, I mean people, you know, women. Come on, people. People who menstruate can't simply wait for shelves to be restocked. Meaning what? When it's time for that woman and she's on her cycle, she has to stop the blood by something. Right? She just can't wait. I'm going to just stop my cycle until the shelves are restocked. No, that cycle comes and is independent on what's going on in this damn supply chain movement. Huh? You know? So guess what? Towels, paper towel, old shirts, you know, weave. People, things are going to get bad out here, man. And people are going to smell you, man. They're going to smell you afar off. And you're going to hide yourself and you're going to be ashamed because you stink. And nobody's going to want to deal with you and you're going to be begging the men of the Lord or a man to take you, man.
Smelling like butt. You know, I was telling that to Eve, I said, look, you know, when somebody banging at the door at 12 o'clock at night, who's looking at who? Is the man looking at the Eve, kind of, what are we going to do, baby? Oh, it's you looking at him. When the bills is stacking up to your neck, who are you looking at? Who's looking at who? You're looking at the man. When you walking down the street, you see another 6'5" dude. Who's looking at who? You're looking at your man. So what do you expect in those days? What do you think is going to happen in those days? Are you going to be looking for those righteous men? And you're going to I remember talking to you before. And you're going to say, I remember talking to you too. And you blaspheme the word. you know, you're going to say some more stuff to her. And it's not comely things. And she's going to get mad, and she doesn't have to deal with it. She's going to walk away with her head down, bleeding, with her hair, you know, all, hey, you got it.
That's right. That's right, man. You know, and ultimately, you know, the days of Isaiah 4:1 draw nigh. Right? The days of Isaiah 4:1 are drawing nigh on the earth, man. All right, let me get that classic. This Isaiah chapter 4:1. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Meaning what? Women are going to bank on men to keep them sustained financially, physically, and be that protection. You know, many women are going to cleave to the men of the Lord, just hoping that these men is an exit route and a ticket to the kingdom. And they're going to say, we'll eat our own bread and we'll do things we normally shouldn't do. And we'll do these things. Just please deal with us and let us be your wife. Right? So these are the days coming on the earth, man. You also have
Khan Salaki, I can get a precept on that real fast.
Oh God, you got it up.
Okay, Khan, I want to get a quick precept on that. Right?
Bring it up.
Because like the brothers are bringing out, man. Hey, that's even in the scriptures. Right? Let me pull this quick precept real fast in 2 Kings. This 2 Kings, chapter 4, right, in verse number 8. It says, and it fell on the day that Elisha passed to Shushan, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in hither to eat bread. So it was this woman in the ancient world, when the prophet Elisha passed by, she constrained him to eat bread. And we know what the word constrain means, man. Damn near make somebody eat bread.
Right,
But she
right.
seen how this man, he was a prophet. You understand? The Lord was dealing with him. He wasn't just a nigga in the streets. Now, a lot of women, they're going to see those men and they're going to constrain them to help them. Constrain and pull and mourn. It says, she said unto her husband, behold, now I perceive that this is an holy man of God, which passeth by us continually. Let us make a little chamber. Like a little chamber is like a little place in your house, like a guest room. She said, you know what? We don't want to just see Elisha. We want him to dwell in our house, man. Free. They didn't ask no rent. They didn't say where you coming from, who's with you. They said, young, when we see Elisha, make sure that we got a little chamber because we want the men of the Lord close to us, man. It says a chamber, I pray thee, on the wall, and let us set for him there a bed and a table and a stool. So they was taking care of Elisha, man. There's no account of him paying rent or him knowing them for 15 years. And that's going to be like that in the days to come. Women or even men, they're going to see the light on certain brothers and they're going to want to follow them. They say, you can have my water. Oh, you can have my shirt, my extra shirt, or whatever I got to do. Just make sure that I'm with you. It says, and a candlestick, and it shall be when he cometh to us that he shall turn in hither. So they was just banking on Elisha turning, if he was in the city, into their house, and they set up a table, right? They set up a chamber, they set up a candlestick, they set everything up for the men of the Lord, you understand, that dwell in their tabernacle because they knew that he was blessed.
And that's a mighty precept, man. I'm gonna tell you, and I believe in 1 Samuel. See if I can get this precept. 1 Samuel 9. I want to get a quick precept on that. This 1 Samuel 9:9. It reads, boy, man, I'm not gonna read the whole chapter. 1 Samuel 9 and verse 6. It reads, and he said unto him, behold, now there is in this city a man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither. Peradventure, he can show us our way that we should go. And that was Saul and his servant. They said, look, we don't know what to do. We're lost. We're destitute. We ran out of food. We lost our ass. you know, that they were looking for. They said, look, we know in this city, and you might be in those days, you might see damn LA city limits, New York city limits, an old sign covered with thorns and covered with damn vines and say, I know in this city there's a man of God here. And you're going to go and look for the men of God, man. It reads, then said Saul to his servant, but behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring to the man of God. What have we? And people are going to say, look, man, we need to bring something to this man. Right? They're going to have to try to buy this guy's prophecies, man, and wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Literally give you food and dinner for breakdowns and knowledge. Give you clothes off their back. Here, just what's Deuteronomy 28? I'll give you all that I have. What was that verse about slavery? And then they just coughing up the dough. Please, we'll give you everything. It reads, verse 8. And the servant answered Saul again and said, behold, I have here at hand the fourth part of a shekel of silver that I will give to the man of God to tell us our way. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer, for he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So men are going to get back in that spirit all over again, man. Searching out, looking for the men of God. Eve are going to be looking for the men of the Most High, trying to bring gifts and provide alternatives in exchange for knowledge and understanding and merit. These are the things that are coming back on the earth, man. You got it.
All right.
What's
Khan,
that precept?
Let me bring this up.
Oh, you got it.
Khan, you got it. No, you got it. Go ahead.
I was going to say the precept where the woman was looking for the prophets, but they came out only on a certain day.
Oh, that's 2 Kings 4. And then like 20 on down. Khan.
You got it right. I'm gonna bring it out.
Khan. This second Esdras.
The water.
Khan. All right. It is second Esdras chapter 12 and verse number 42. For of all the prophets, thou art only are left us as a cluster of the vintage. So it's like seeing a prophet in those days is going to be like rare gold, man. You don't just walk around and get out the house, you understand, and meditate in the word and stumble upon a rock of gold, man, a talent of gold. That's not going to happen. In those days, you barely going to be able to see man and woman. How much more the servants of the Lord? It could literally be somewhere where the Lord is protecting them at, man, away from mass confusion. Where you at? You understand? And the Lord could be guiding them to the east while he's guiding you to the west. It says, for of all the prophets, thou only are left us as a cluster of the vintage, and as a candle in a dark place, and as a haven or ship preserved from the tempest. So that prophet gonna be like a candle in a dark place, man.
Yep.
What is that dark place? Babylon, confusion. There's gonna be no light, no understanding, no direction, no pathway, man. Everything is gonna be grown over on a physical level and on a spiritual level. And only that man that can document through the spirit the times and the seasons and understanding what's going on is going to be able to help you and guide you in those days, man. Now you're not going to be fiending for the brother that used to drive the Ferrari and that had they used to play professional NBA ball, man. You're not going to care about that. What's going to matter in those days is being with a man of the Lord, man. I don't think people understand that that's the greatest lot and thing that you could be doing on this earth is serving the Lord, and the Lord imparting into you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and of the times to be able to understand what's going to happen on the earth before it happened, and not only that, having grace and mercy of the Heavenly Father to be guided in those days to come. It says, what, Salakia? It says, are not the evils which are come to us sufficient? So all hell's going to be breaking loose, and to find a man in those days, not just any man, but a man of the Lord is going to be a hot commodity, man.
Hey, quick precept. Oh, yeah, then you had something?
Real quick, it's like your 2 Kings 4 and 22. And she called unto her husband and said, Send me, I pray thee, one of the young men, and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of God and come again. She said, Run to the man of God. These circumstances are a little different, but hey, best believe that's what Eve is going to do. They're going to run to the man of God.
Yeah.
And it says this, and he said, Wherefore wilt thou go to him? Today it is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, It shall be well. Because they're going to expect us to be on those same certain parts of the cities, as we usually are on a Sabbath day. But we're not going to be there. And I had a dream like that, before I actually read this verse. I had a dream, we was in Detroit, and at one moment, the whole body was just teaching, prophesying, and people were scoffing, walking by. They didn't care. And then at time fast forwarded, in that same area, we weren't there, and people was just standing around saying, Where are they? Where are they? And all hell was breaking loose in the background. They said, Where are they? They was waiting for us to come. They said, It's this time. It's a Saturday. Where are they at? We have questions for them. I yield.
God. And this that's what the Lord says. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Right? The Lord said, Then the foolish virgin said unto the wise, Give us of our oil, for our lamps have run out. And the wise answered the foolish and said, Not so, lest there not be enough for us and you. Rather go to them that sell and buy for yourselves, man. So you want to make sure that you harvest in that oil. This Genesis chapter 38 and verse 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear sheep. So she was stalking this guy, man, right? Clocking Judah. And she put her widow's garment off from her and covered her with a veil and wrapped herself and sat in the open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. Now, this is how it was in the ancient world. But these roles are going to be reversed, right? It reads, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. And Eve is going to be asking Jake that, man. Can you please lay with me, man? Like Isaiah 4:1 say, Set thyself up in the open place, find a man of the Lord like a trap, and say, Can I please lay with you? It reads, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law, and she said, What wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me? So prostitution, selling your body, all those days are coming back on the earth, man. Right? What are you going to give me? You understand? What can I do for you? But please come in unto me. So she set that whole thing up just so she could have lay down with Judah, man. And Eve is going to be doing that again, man. You be walking, Eve been following you for 2 days in the wilderness, right? You sleep like Ruth. Ruth went to Boaz and laid at his feet, man. Forcing her way in that thing. Read the book of Ruth. Boaz is asleep, I believe, on a threshing floor, and Ruth comes in, dials herself up, essentially just begs Boaz to marry her and lays at his feet. That's going to be the days of Jacob's trouble, man. You wake up, Eve is just laying at your feet or doing other things. You know?
And that's in that movie, The Book of Eli, where Mila Kunis, she kept following him.
Yep.
See,
She was
what are you
following
doing? She just kept following him.
Yep. And he really wasn't dealing with her, man. He wasn't dealing with her. Now there's another thing going on. Slocky, what is this? So we got a few more we want to get into. There is a diesel shortage. Right? A diesel shortage. Let's pull this up. What does a diesel shortage mean? Right? We all know that the truckers, 16-wheelers, transportation, they don't operate on the regular gas that your Toyota Prius do, man. They operate on diesel. But the word is out is that there's no more diesel and it's running low. Now, what does that mean? If there is no more diesel and it's running low, that means these trucks, they're not going any damn where. And if these trucks aren't going any damn where, who's going to drop off that gasoline? You think that gasoline just pops up at the grocery store by a big red button? Do you think the food appears in your Sam's Club, your Walmart, your Target, your BJ's, your Kroger, your Myers, your Price Right, your Publix, Safeway, Giant? Do you think those just appear randomly? No, you have these guys that drop the trucks. They come there at odd hours, maybe 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They unload the pallets of food, produce, and whatever, and they leave, man. But guess what? A lot of these trucking companies, they're laying off workers because they say, look, we just can't afford it, man. There's a shortage on diesel, and there's a shortage on truck drivers, and there's a shortage of all of commodities that are on the back of these trucks. Right? So this is the breakdown and the fall of Babylon the Great. And it's going to lead to riots, man. You got to imagine if you go to the store and the shelves are empty, it's only so much somebody could take. It's only so much, man. Because they may go to a store and they may be looking for whatever, right? Then they may go to the next store and it may not be there. Then the next store, and eventually they're going to, start getting vexed, man. Then they finally find it and it's expensive. They're just going to take it.
Yeah.
And he's, oh, go ahead, King.
No, that was it. 5-finger discount, as they say.
Yeah. And these truck drivers, guess what? They have a schedule. You understand? They have to hit certain destinations. They have to do it in a particular time. But guess what? They're going to start taking this stuff home with them, huh? They're not going to the damn grocery store. They're taking this stuff home. They don't care if they're being tracked. All right? They're going to have to do what they have to do, man. All right? Let's go into this. Now, this is Detroit. Metro Detroiters have been facing the hardships of fuel prices as they have skyrocketed. While gas costs are increasing, diesel fuel is hitting record high for its prices. Here you go to some of these grocery stores, diesel fuel is like $10.
Yep.
Right? $11 for diesel. Truck driver Dave Puma said that it cost him about $1,000 more in fuel a month. And that is the cost as he is traveling locally. $1,000 a month in fuel. And that's local. Puma owns an 18-wheel with 2 massive diesel tanks that he fills simultaneously. It costs his truck $500 to fill up. Jake, we don't have that. This guy barely has it. And truck drivers make a decent money, man. They do pretty well. Depending on your routes and, what company you work for and other factors, but they do pretty well. And he's even saying that, damn, I'm spending $1,000 in fuel a month. Right, let me go back to this. Slovakia. Specialists are also saying that jet fuel demand has taken off. So jet fuel, you understand, diesel, these things are going to lead to complete anarchy and chaos, man. So you can't expect food to be at your store if nobody's bringing it there. People bring food. They bring produce, dairy, cheese, bread, eggs, meat. Now, these shelves are going to be a lot more empty because less produce and products are being supplied to these stores, which means the prices of what's in that is going to increase. That's supply. It's like it's supply and demand. Low supply, high demand equals a high price. When you have a high price and people can't match that price due to labor, they start doing other things, stealing and looting, man, and robbing. So this is all a thing that's set up. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6. So the days of the purge are real, man. Esau made these movies, the Purge, okay, the Purge election day, the Purge of the beginning, right? And people are just rebelling against the local authorities and governments. Let's get that in the Bible. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, right? This 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And how are the storehouses going to be empty? Because nobody's bringing store to the house, or where, or victuals. So expect the fact this is going to also result in a famine. So you have shortages on food, shortages on tampons, shortages on diesel. You have shortages on consumer products, and it's getting hard to find things, man. And people are going to resort to thievery and resort to extortion and violence. Let me pull this up as well. Oh, I had something else. Now this is I typed this in. War. Let me actually bring it out. That is from WSVN.com. Because now you have Trump, he's thinking about, he's really provoking a civil war, right? He's provoking a civil war, but listen to this, right? U.S. It's like your war-fueled food inflation will cause social unrest, UN official says. Meaning what? Like we brought out earlier, no food, high cost of living, because rent is increasing, mortgage is increasing. It's really a recipe for anarchy. Add a little bit of inflation, add a damn dash of high interest rates, 7 tablespoons of high rent, 3 cups of sedition, add a damn cup of low diesel. And I believe there's only 4 weeks left of the world wheat supply. There's only about 4 weeks left of the global wheat supply. So war-fueled food inflation will cause social unrest. What is social unrest? Riots, anarchy in the streets, pandemonium, chaos, buildings being set on fire, martial law, local malls being set on fire, glass being broken, protesting and madness in America, man. Purging out people, destroying the weak. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And these are exciting times, man. Hey, I'm excited. I know the average Babylonian, they're scared, they're nervous, they're worried about their house, right? And the Lord said, sell everything, man. He told the rich man in Matthew 19 and 17 on down, if thou will be perfect, go and sell all that thou hast to give to the poor and follow me. And it said let me get that real quick. It said the man went away sorrowful. He had many possessions, man. And he couldn't follow the Lord, even though he kept the commandments. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. And we know that. We know the dietary laws, ceremonial laws, other commandments. He said unto him, Which? Yahushua said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, thou shalt love thy neighbor, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Here's the point. The young man saith unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up, what lack I yet? And a lot of brothers, you keep the commandments. You don't murder. You don't commit adultery. You don't dishonor your father and your mother. You kept the Passover. You do these things. You've been keeping them since the time that you were in this truth. So what lack I yet, right? Yahweh shall send it to him, if thou will be perfect, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. A lot of brothers have great possessions, right? You have nice cars, right? You may be doing kind of well off, man. You know, you may not really be affected by this rippling economy. Right? You may have a decent place to live, right? Nice income, little spare money, right? You may have these things, man. So you become a little bit more fearful due to these great possessions you have. And we don't give a damn about this thing, man. And we're willing to let all this go at the drop of a dime for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
That's
The
right.
Lord said, they that use the world and not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. At 1 Corinthians chapter 7 to 31. So we use the world, but we don't abuse it. Right? We're here, we operate, we go, right? We go to work, we kind of get food, do what we have to do, but we know in the back of our mind that this place can go any second. And you have to keep that in your mentality. You have to say, you have to redeem the time because the days are evil, pursuant to Ephesians 5 and 15. Social unrest is coming. Let me get this. This second Esdras, chapter 15. Right? Let's go to second Esdras, the 15th chapter. Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So men aren't going to regard kings anymore. They're not going to care that the government said, don't trespass, no loitering, right? Grand larceny is a felony. They're not going to care about what you have to say anymore. Esau, man. That's what we brought up. They killed Adoram in the ancient world, who was over the tribute. They don't give a damn, man. People are going to riot and lose their mind. And that's exactly what this man wants. Hey, check this out. Here's the article, right? A perfect storm of war. Extreme weather and a pandemic will drive global food prices to levels that will cause social unrest, right? It's like here. That will cause social unrest in certain parts of the world, according to David Beasley, head of the nation's World Food Program. If people can't feed their children and their families, then politics unsettles, Beasley told CNN during a conference on Thursday. Hit by high prices and supply disruptions, Beasley said the UN has been forced to ration food supplies to millions of people around the world. Right? Now I'm going to jump down. It reads, you're seeing it happen with the United States, a wealthy nation, with inflation and families at the grocery store buying milk at higher prices. So can you imagine what the heck is happening in places like Chad, Malawi, and DRC? Beasley said, referring to the Democratic Republic of Congo, he pointed to recent protests in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and elsewhere. Beasley noted that both the war in Syria and the Arab Spring uprising in 2011 were preceded by food price spikes and supply issues. And he argued that some economic metrics are already significantly worse than much before the Arab Spring. So riots happen because of no food, no supplies. This is why, not because whoever was voted for didn't get into office, or the electoral college messed up, right? Or because of any odd unknown reason. the next big riots coming to Babylon the Great will be done due to the famine, right? Economic issues, the supply chain, and people are going to be fed up, man. You combine that with the rolling blackouts that are coming, right? You combine that with the high prices. People are fed up. They're tense. You can feel it. You can see it in the face of the Babylonians. They're scratching their head. They look confounded. They're not really laughing and joking anymore. And people are getting ready for civil war. You know? Even Donald Trump said, let's bring on civil war. All right, it's a little more in this. Let's see. I believe that's all I wanted. I don't want to read the whole article, right? But war-fueled inflation will cause social unrest, UN official says, right? And Yahushua prophesied about that. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. The Lord spoke about commotions, right? So everything we read about, I mean, it's in the Bible, right? We're not making this up. Yahushua said it will happen, so it is what it is. Ezra spoke about it. Jeremiah spoke about it. Mark's, all our forefathers spoke about the days that are coming on the earth. And if you still caught up in a world and you're dealing with surfeiting and excess, you're going to be destroyed, man. If you're still looking back like Lot's wife, hoping things get better, the Lord can't use you, man. If you're hoping that gas prices go down, the Lord don't need you, man. He can't use you. If you're hoping that the damn economy bounces back and America gets out of debt, you're not qualified or fit for the kingdom. If you're hoping that they bring out more and the shortages are finally done away with and life goes back to so-called normal, then you're not fit for the kingdom. Your mind is bad, and your mind is still in America. We're looking to get the hell out of here, man. We're not looking back and drawing back or taking our hand off the plow. We're pressing toward the mark through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua. Right, let's get this in Luke chapter 21. This is St. Luke chapter 21 and verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So commotions are what? Riots. A commotion is a sedition. A commotion is anarchy and rebellion. Even in Mark, the Lord spoke about troubles. That's anarchy and rebellion, which is ultimately going to bring in martial law, right? And ultimately have be a forefronting way to round up the saints and persecute the men of the Most High. You know?
That's right. I got a precept.
Come.
This Philippians 3 and 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God and Hamashiach Yahushua. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even this unto you. So the point is, laying back off what the brother was saying, you literally have to press toward the mark. It's not an actual button that you press to say mark. It's not jump roping. It's not meeting your daily quota of eating certain fruits and vegetables and drinking water, but more so praying. We want to say it over and over and over and over. We don't care if we sound like a broken record. Jacob said, well, I heard that. I know I have to do that. You have to pray, read, fast, study. And bring forth your alms as well before the Heavenly Father. You have to conduct yourself accordingly, off the precepts. Every decision you make should be predicated off the precepts, because then you're keeping the Lord in mind. And we know, as it says in 2 Esdras 16, that he's the God of them that keep his commandments and his precepts. So once you know the commandments and the precepts, you're going to know how to properly bring forth, the fruit of your lips. You're going to know how to properly bring the sacrifice before the altar. Your works and even your body. But you got it, King.
I got a quick precept to go into what the brother's talking about. It's 2 Esdras chapter 2, right? And I'm going to start at verse number 13. It says, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that ye may be shortened." So you should pray for a few days on this earth, man. And when you go to Sirach 36, man, a Sirach was praying for all hell to break loose and the destruction of our enemies. You know, Ezra, you understand, Peter, all of our forefathers were hastening, and even Paul, to the second coming of our Lord for this place to be destroyed, man. And it's going to have to be uncomfortable to get where we need to be. But we're not comfortable as it is, you know, even in this land. So we're going to have to go through a famine. We're going to have to go through pestilence. We're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to go through the fire. And essentially, that's how gold is perfected. You understand and tried. And if you don't want to go through that fire, you're essentially saying that I know I'm gold and I know I have things that's on me that need to be purified off, but I'm not willing to be tried to be made perfect, man. Because that's the only way we're going to enter into perfection. Have the law in our inward parts and essentially take over rulership over this earth. You understand? It's by having all of these atrocities, murders, pestilence, all of this has to come to pass, man. So whether you understand you want to or not, the Heavenly Father's will is going to be done. You're going to either be with the Lord or against the Lord, man. And essentially, you shouldn't be scared of anything because you should have faith that the Lord is going to preserve you during those days.
And you know, to add to that, you gotta remember that this place was set up to be destroyed, man. This is the great expectation. The Lord said, let me get this real quick in Luke chapter 21, right? This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So this isn't time to be sad or have your head down or be fearful. Well, I don't know, I'm going to go to work, or my woman, she needs the tampons, but what am I going to do if there's no food? And well, brother, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, man. And you should be praying for faith in these days. You should be going on fast and praying that the Lord increase your faith, your steadfastness, for you to be unmovable. You don't have to pray for all of the in-depth breakdowns, right? We're not in the days of fasting and praying for the mysteries and the secrets of the seven thunders. And you want the hidden manna right now. It's not going to profit you when you're inside a FEMA camp and your number is called, looking at the guillotine, man. And Esau sharpening the damn guillotine doing this. What is the 7 heads and the 10 horns going to do for you, man? And the 70 weeks of Daniel, how would that profit you? You have to be steadfast and unmovable, right? You have to bank on certain precepts and accounts to drive you and push you. That's your ignition and your gasoline to drive you in these days, man. When the Lord said, look up and lift up your heads. And that's what we do, man. We walk, we lift up our heads, we're looking for the chariots, we're looking for the Lord, and we know that our redemption draws nigh. And we about to be out of here, man. And we almost on our way out of here, man. Think about that all the time, right? When all hell breaks loose, hey, we're going to be thinking that, look, at any second, the Lord could return. War is going to be happening around the world. We're not really going to know the great details of it. Right? We're going to be able to gauge the trumpets and the sounds, and we're going to know through the spirit, and look, at any second, the Lord will return. Right? The Lord is up there sharpening his sword, like the brother Gabar say, and getting that sickle ready, because guess what? These days are here, man. He's even telling you, we see the storm coming. Right? You have to observe these, like I brought out yesterday at camp. You have to observe the elements, man, and see the storm coming. U.S. struggles to contain a deepening global food prices. You see that? They're burning up wheat fields, higher grain prices, sunflower oil, right? And all hell, 137 people are going to starve. Billions of people are going to starve. I'm not going to read this whole article for sake of time, but you can read this on your own, right? You can read this on your own about how all of the world leaders, look at this. We see the storm coming and we feel underprepared to deal with this. Underprepared.
Hey, Esau is
I'm
under
gonna read
the
this whole
prayer.
article. Yeah. Well, you can't do nothing. This is from on high. It's from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. You don't have a Joseph. There's not going to be a Joseph that says, all right, here's the plan. I'm going to teach your senators wisdom. Here's do A, B, and C. Do this, that, and the third. There's no Joseph coming up to get this thing fixed, man. Right? That was then. This is now. You got to deal with it, man. Like that woman walking in that Airbnb, she said, you got to deal with it. And I ain't going nowhere. Now, brothers are telling me the stock market and crypto is crashing. Right? As we speak, I'm getting word that the stock market and crypto, I got to verify it. Right? But that's just to put that out there. The stock market and crypto are crashing and things are getting bad.
I seen that earlier today. I got the notification that it's failing, and at a certain point they said that's the future, that's the new thing. Some brothers said that's the mark of the beast.
Yep. So things are getting bad, man. Things are getting bad. Things are you look at these line graphs. Things are, and the stock market crashing back in the 1920s was done by the elites. When you study that, they pulled out and did these things just to shake the economy, man. You understand? To bring about the Federal Reserve and get that thing rolling. So these things are happening. The stock market is crashing. Bitcoin is crashing. Will the stock market crash soon? Right? Why are people asking that? Because they can feel it in the air. They study the metrics. They see what's going on. Right? And they're asking the tough questions, man. Will the stock market crash soon? This leading indicator says not yet. So they say not yet. But hey, we'll see, man.
Yeah, that's up to the Lord.
Right. That ain't up to man. You're over $30 trillion in debt. You're trying to survive. You're trying to look to make it. You understand and see what's going on. But guess what, man? This is ultimately, like Yaradan said, it's up to you. How about Shmi Abashad? You know? It's ultimately up to the Most High God. So, brothers, got anything else they want to bring up?
Yeah, I'm going to bring out a closing precept.
Con,
I kick it off. Right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse number 2. And it reads, it says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found our works perfect before God. So we got to strengthen the things which remain, you understand, because the Lord is not finding all of our works perfect. It's always something more to do in His truth. And essentially, everybody got a weak point that they can exercise more strength in to go harder, man. Maybe an excellent teacher, but you could give more arms. You may give a lot of charity, you understand, but you could read more. Maybe an excellent reader and be going hard in it, you understand? Hey, but you could do more with brotherly love. There's always something that you can add, you understand, to strengthen up those members that are ready to die. It says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast. Right? And that's the patience. You understand, to not think. That's endurance. That's holding fast of the same doctrine that you were taught from the foundation. All of these things are very important. Why the Lord says to hold fast. It says, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So if you're not watching the signs, you understand, the prophecy, watching your households, your brethren, your congregation, and even your spirit to examine it, the Lord, He could come and visit you as a thief, man. And nobody knows the hour that a thief is going to come. He could come at the twilight. He could come at the third or the fourth watch. Nobody knows. So you have to stay on fire and giving your all to the Lord, man, and pray for grace and mercy. Brothers got it.
God. This is Sirach 35 and 3. To depart from wickedness is a thing righteous. It's a thing pleasing to the Lord. And to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. For all these things are to be done because of the commandment. And what it means why you can't appear empty before the Lord, can what? I'm gonna keep saying it every week, Lord willing, if the Most High allows me to. And you have to bring some type of works, your fruit, your praise, like even your prayer to the Heavenly Father. That's an incense, like it says in Psalms 144, Hebrews 13:15, Hosea 14:2. That's work as well. Your alms and your charity, like it says in the book of Tobit, the 4th chapter. It'll tell you in Sirach, the 3rd chapter, in the last verse, right? So you got your prayer, you got your alms, you have the actual doing the work of the Lord, right? And you'll receive a talent from that. So again, verse 4, thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. For all these things are to be done because of the commandment, right? Therefore, you have to be working. You have to do the work. You can't sit behind a computer all day, keyboard lights. Of course, the Most High have every, office for every brother, but you at least need to be doing some type of work, some type of degree, besides just commenting on videos all day. We know brothers that do that to this very day. But with that, I yield.
Okay. And I want to get the classic in Revelation chapter 22 and 12. Right? Revelation, the 22nd chapter and the 12th verse. It reads, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So every man's going to have to be given an account of his works, man. You understand how much labor you put in for the Most High, and labor is manifold. Now, there are many ways to labor and do the work of the Most High, right? You praying for brothers, fasting for yourself, fasting for your family, fasting for brothers, reading, teaching, alms, exhortation. There are 1,000 ways to labor and do the work of the Heavenly Father. Set up governments and helps and different departments and things of that nature. There are 10,000 ways under the sun to labor for the Most High, right? Women, you can labor. Children can labor. Anybody can labor and do the work of the Most High and put their hand to the plow. And whatever work you put in, that's how you're going to get rewarded. If you're slothful, lazy, half-stepping, then you're not going to make it. You're going to be cut down by the Lord. You're going to be destroyed in America or wherever land you dwell in, right? But if your labors are fruitful and you're abounding in the work of the Lord and increasing daily in the Lord and not being the same brother or sister you was today or the day prior, then guess what? The Most High may have mercy on you, man. Because the days are coming, these food riots. It's a list of food riots, man, spanning over almost 300 years. So food riots is nothing new, man. You have food riots in 2007, 2021, food prices in the 1970s, the Great Famine riots, the grain riots. So you can read this whole account and see these riots that are coming to America, man. Every brother, make sure you're magnifying your works. And how much work you do shows how much you believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh. Bashima Mashiach Malak Yahushua. We'll open up the door for questions for those who do have questions, like we always do every Monday night. And brothers can call in at the number at 213-603-9096. Right again, that's 213-603-9096. And that PIN number is 94809-305. Right, 94809-305. But with that, Brother Naquan,
Brother Riots.
Brother, you're done.
Most High willing, he was edified. Kwam Yashala, Shalom.